Hey folks, we're out in my backyard again, and as you can tell from the trees behind me, it's early spring, and we're out here looking for something. I've tried doing this video for about 2 years now, but it seems like my timing has always been off. So I think I might just have gotten it right this time around. As I said, you can see it's early spring. We don't really have the leaves on the trees yet, but there are plenty of signs of life all around. Deer tracks there. Unfortunately, the trout have already come and gone. They only last about a week and they disappear. It's a very small creek. But the real reason we're here today is right down here. That, my friends, is a fiddlehead. So for those of you unfamiliar with fiddleheads, they are the frilled up fronds of the ostrich fern. And they grow in a very short time in late April, early May. You can see there. And the way you identify these, you have to be very specific about identification, because this is the only one that I know of, and I'm not an expert, but this is the only one that I know of that is edible. If you get it wrong, you could give yourself a very serious stomach bug, severe cramps, and even if you don't prepare these properly, you could do the same thing. I'm not sure if they are fatally poisonous, but these ones here will definitely give you a nasty case of food poisoning if you don't cook them right. So what you're looking for right away, you can see what you want to do as well. Sorry, you get in with a sharp knife and you cut it about that length, and then you can see right away there is a very pronounced U shape to the groove on the stalk. That is the primary identifier of an ostrich fern. Also, you notice the skin is smooth. There are no hairy bits like a nettle. It's just smooth like that. Not on this one, but I'll show you on another one. You can see this brown papery stuff. That's basically what's coming off. They lie in bulbs underground, and when they're dormant, when they come up, obviously they've got to break through the skin surface, and that's all that is. So again, what you want to do is cut them about that length, and you never want to cut more than 2 or 3 per bulb, as I said. You'll see they've got several heads on them. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the one I just cut, 5. And there's another one here. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to cut more than 2 or 3, because then what happens is the plant will go dormant and die, and then you won't have any for next year. So always try to leave at least half the plant, if not 3/4 of the plant, to ensure continued growth and sustainability. Lucky enough, I'm in a whole field of them, so I'm going to be picking these for a little bit. They also like to grow in very sandy soil. You can see that there. So yeah, close to streams, in marsh, something like that is generally where you'll find them. Temperate woodfield. I'm in Ontario. They grow all over eastern Canada, northeastern United States, as far as I know. I'm sure you find them in other parts of the world as well. The taste is similar to asparagus, because that's basically all they are. They're a little green shoot that comes out of sandy soil, like I said. Very similar taste to asparagus. So if you like asparagus, you'll like these. The season is very short. Generally, they start popping up last week of April or so, and these, within 2 weeks, you won't be able to eat them, because once they unfurl, I'll show you, there's another one over here. Once they get to this point, they're no longer edible. I say that because you can see it's already unfurled to the point where it's got green leaves going down the stem, and you don't want to eat that. Not sure why, but that's what I was told. But basically, that's when they're edible, is when they're in really tight curls like that. And obviously, the reason they got the name fiddlehead, because they look like the head of a fiddle. So I'm going to pick a few. I'm going to take them up to the house. I'm going to cook some breakfast. Sit tight. So you can't really see this too well on camera, but there are literally 50, 60 plants right in front of me. I am being extremely picky. I don't want, like I said, I mean obviously ones that are already grown out. I don't want small deformed ones like that, because when you come to cook these, they'll unravel and they'll just be a mess. So again, I'm trying to get them as nice and tight as possible, and they'll cook up really nice. But also you can see sort of why these are so expensive. I mean, there's a guy selling them on Facebook Marketplace, probably just around the corner from me, and he wants $12.99 a pound for these things. And yeah, I can understand it's a bit of work and the season is short. And they are delicious. So yeah, that's why they're so expensive. I don't think you can cultivate them on a farm. They have to be wild. So it takes a bit of work getting them out of the ground. Finally made it back to the kitchen. It's a couple of hours later, to be honest, so we're not doing breakfast anymore. It's more like a late lunch snack, pre-dinner kind of thing. Anywho, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna cook some up and see if we can store some as well. Try a couple of different techniques. You can sort of see the amount of brown stuff that comes off right away. So don't worry too much again. Just empty the water, rinse them out, try it again. Okay, I've given them a pretty good rinse about 3-4 times. And now I'm going to play. Because I've done this before, where basically you blanch them for about 5 minutes, throw them in an ice bath, and then I like to pan fry them for a couple of minutes just to give them a nice little smokier flavor. I don't know. But with my recent obsession with my sous vide machine, I thought, hey, why not give that a go? So I'm going to take some of these. I will even pat them dry a little bit. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Throw some on there and voila. Not getting too fussy. Throw them in there. And before you put them, just get this water out of here. Before you put them in the vacuum sealer, just probably flatten them out a little bit so they don't completely seal onto each other. Something like that. We'll see how that goes. Okay. What will happen? The great mystery. Push that down, lock it on, I go high and moist. The sous vide experiment is done. I think somewhere along the line, a hole popped in the bag. And these are kind of mush, so I'm just going to throw these out. But if I get myself a new vacuum sealer, I will probably try that again. Because, I guess the good news is, if you do it this way, as soon as they're cooked, you can throw them in the ice bath, and then you can throw them in the freezer straight like that. And they're good for probably a couple of months. Same with when I did them on the stove and I just boiled them. After that 5 minutes, you cool them down, you put them in a bag, you stick them in the freezer. They're good for a couple of months. So keep that in mind. But yeah, these are mush. They're gone. Yeah, about that much. Stir. And is that still boiling? Yes, it is. Just chuck them in. And these are going to go for about 5 minutes. You simply go in, scoop them out of there, and dunk them into there. See what they look like? There you go. And keep them nice and green instead of fading and going all yellowy brown. A little shot of lemon juice, or 2 or 3. Roll that around. I'm just going to let those cool down, which for the most part they already have. You remember what I said earlier when I was out picking them? You want to get them as tight as possible, because you can already see, even with the tight ones, they start to fall apart once you get them in the water. So the tighter the curl, the better they are, because otherwise they're just going to be a big mushy mess. And obviously on this one I didn't get all the brown off, but don't worry about it. You're not going to be sick from the little brown bits. It's just the shedding skin. So they're already cool. I can even take them out of there. And to be honest, they should be edible at this point. But again, I'm going to fry them now. So, let's get the frying pan. And what we're going to start with is some bacon! Straight in the cold pan. Now I know some people are saying, why is he putting it in a cold pan? Why doesn't he let it heat up? Where's the sizzle? Well, if you've got something like very fatty like this that you want to render a bit of the fat out, it's best to start it at a colder temperature, let the fat gently come out, and then bring it up a little bit, and then it'll start crisping. Same with duck. You're doing a duck breast, don't put it in a scorching hot pan, because you're just going to burn it. So, you can already hear the sizzle. It's only been in there 20 seconds, I don't know. And it's already loosening up. You don't even need it on high heat. I turned it on high. I'm going to turn it down to about 4. And like I said, we'll get the gas, we'll get the fat dripping out a little bit. And then we'll throw a little bit of onion in. And I'm going to get these fiddleheads out of the water. Because they've cooled down enough. Just going to give them a little bit of fat, oil. Okay, man down. You turn your back for literally a minute to wash a pan and it started burning. I think that's still salvageable. So it's just on the edge, isn't it? I'd throw it out if it was just onion, but there's bacon in there, so I'm not throwing it out. I can live with slightly burnt onion. And we go with the fiddleheads. Off we go with the eyebrows. Not frying this long, they're already cooked. Just want a little color. Pile it up there in the middle. Throw all that bacon on. Try to avoid the burnt onions. And that prosciutto leg I have in the basement is still giving a couple of months later. So we'll give it a little smash of that. And there's always got to be cheese, right? Little shot of parm, and by little I mean holy crap. There you go, fiddleheads with bacon and prosciutto and parm. Enjoy. See you next time.